Is everybody ready? Bill, let me know. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia City Council Chambers. This is a regularly scheduled City Council meeting. I will call this meeting to order. Today's date is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. The time is 5:30 p.m. Pam, would you please take the roll call?
Baraboo,
Present.
Friedlieb,
Present.
Olson is absent, Beyondich,
Present.
Johnson,
Here.
Parenzelli,
Here.
Cuffey.
Here. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. We'll go to number 4 on the agenda, which is the public forum. We do have a gentleman in the audience. We'll call as a scheduled appearance once we complete the consent agenda. But is there anybody else other than the scheduled resident to appear that would like to speak before the council this evening? Seeing none, we'll move to item 5, the consent agenda. The following items will be enacted by one motion unless a councilor or a citizen of the City of Virginia requests that the item be considered separately. Item 5.1 is the approval and correction of the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on June 22nd, 2021, and the special meeting that was held on July 7th, 2021. 5.2 is the adoption of Finance Resolution Number 21-013, the schedule of bills. Item 5.3 is to approve pay estimate number 13 to Kraus Anderson for the Ewens Field redevelopment in the amount of $117,752.70. Item 5.4 is approved pay estimate number 13 to Kraus Anderson for the MEC in the amount of $2,147,320.30. Item 5.5, approve the transient merchant license for Alex Haugen, doing business as Go Figures LLC. Item 5.6, approve the temporary liquor license for the Iron Rain Partnership for Sustainability on August 26, 2021. And finally, item 5.7, approve pay estimate number 2 for the 2021 street project to Casper Construction in the amount of $320,444.34. These are the consent agenda items on the agenda today. I'm looking for council action. Councilor Beyondich.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Councilor Beyondich makes a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move to item 6 on the agenda, which is appearances. Under 6.1, we have one resident that would like to appear, Mr. Gerald Williams. Mr. Williams, if you'd like to please come forward to the podium. As you approach the podium, if you turn the light on, thank you, Brian. Welcome to the Virginia City Council, Mr. Williams, and please state your full name for the record.
Gerald Vincent Williams. I live down on 10th Street, South in Virginia.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams, and go ahead.
Right now, at this point, I would like to address one counselor in particular. I have a gift for him. It's in this bag. I just finished it, so it's still wet. I didn't have time. Mr. Johnson, this is a soapbox. If you want to get on your soapbox on the corner of Chestnut at any given street to tell people that you have bisexual tendencies, please do so and exercise your First Amendment right. There's no place for that in this chamber what you brought forth at the end of the last meeting. No place. It has nothing to do with city business. Here's your box if you want to use it. It's probably not structurally sound. I threw it together quick. There's no place for that here. You want to beat the drum on the street? That's fine. No place. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. Okay, we'll move to item number 7 on the agenda, which is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business this evening. So we'll move to item 8, discussion items. We have no discussion items. So move on to committee reports, and we have a very lengthy committee reports this evening. So those in the audience, please bear with us as we move through each one of these items one by one. Committee reports 9.1, the committee of the whole meeting that was held on July 6, 2021. And we'll turn this part of the council agenda over to our city administrator, Britt C. Bennis. Britt?
Thank you. At the July 6th Committee of the Whole meeting, we had a presentation from Nia Bixby, who discussed a wooden playground that she had seen on a trip in Montana. We had promised Nia that we'll talk about it further and let her know at the next meeting that we do discuss the playground. Jeannie Mackey was present to discuss the handicap parking on Chestnut Street. She noted that during COVID, she did use the curbside pickup and felt that it was a very advantageous way to shop, and she will still continue looking at additional spots and come back with more information from us. She'd also discussed the traffic signals on Chestnut Street. And just to clarify, we have not made any decisions on the traffic signals on Chestnut Street. We are still working on them, on what we're going to do with them. Mr. Mike Butler was present to discuss placing Bird Scooters in the city of Virginia. It's a new company that currently has scooter rental, currently right now in Grand Rapids. It was moved and supported to authorize approving the memorandum of understanding with Bird Scooters for the use of scooters in the city of Virginia.
Looking for a motion from the council regarding the community move to this council meeting for discussion and potential approval. Councilor
I
Johnson.
will move the memorandum of understanding with Bird Scooters.
Councilor Johnson moved to approve the memorandum of understanding with Bird Scooters for the use of scooters in the city of Virginia. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Councilor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
It was moved and supported to approve city staff to seek grants available for bike education and safety guidelines.
I will move.
Moved by Councilor Johnson, supported by Councilor Freely. Further discussion? Hearing, seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the professional services agreement with SCH for bidding and construction management services for the police garage repair and addition.
Also move, Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Bearable to approve. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Johnson. Further discussion? Just a clarification, this is the repair and then the bid alternate for the addition. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution accepting the quote from Abate Tech Environmental for the removal of asbestos materials at 805 Fifth Avenue South.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there support?
I'll support, Mayor.
Support by Councilor Bearable. Is there any further discussion? Let's quickly, it's 805 Fifth Avenue South. This residence is scheduled for demolition. Is that correct, Britt?
Correct.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution for hiring of a single-role paramedic, Trevor Smith.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Beyondich. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Freely to adopt the resolutions for the hiring of the single-role paramedic position to Trevor Smith. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution to hire utility worker Wesley LaValle for the Parks and Recreation Department.
So moved.
Also move, Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Bearable and supported by Councilor Freely to adopt the resolution for hiring utility worker Wesley LaValle for the Park and Recs Department. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the updated clarification in the MOU of understanding for the single role going to 12-hour shift schedule.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Beyondich and supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve hiring of up to 10 recreation assistants with a starting wage of $17 per hour for the MEC.
We'll move those up to 10 positions.
Counselor Johnson moves to approve up to 10 positions for recreation assistants for the MEC at an hourly rate of $17 per hour. Is there support?
I'll support, Mayor.
Support by Counselor Bearable. Further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve hiring up to 2 lead recreation assistants starting at $18 per hour for the MEC.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Freely, supported by Counselor Johnson to approve the hiring of 2 lead recreation assistants for the MEC with a starting wage of $18 per hour. Is there any further discussion? These are some limited hours of work, is that correct?
Correct. 15
Thank
to
you.
25.
Thank you. Between 15 and 25 hours. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Beyondich.
I just do have one question. When they are hired, who is in charge of keeping track of those hours so they don't go over?
The event program services manager is the one responsible for the recreation assistants.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion or questions? Hearing and seeing none, Counselor Bearable.
If you notice, the city has gone above and beyond the $15 an hour wages because trying to get individuals to work anymore with everything going on is really tough. So we've upped our game a little bit to make sure we get employees for our facilities with this new facility opening in September.
Okay, yes, thank you, Counselor Bearable. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the addition of a team leader position at the Park Department.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Barnzelli. Further discussion? This is a rotated team leader position where these Park and Rec Department personnel will have opportunities to do so, right, Brian? Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion?
Mayor, if I may, this is
Yes,
not an
Britt?
actual new position. This is just an on-call.
On call.
Protocol, yeah.
Yes, on call. Yes, thank you for that clarification. There are already current employees who will be on call in a lead position on a rotated basis. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to appoint Patricia Dahl to the Library Commission for the remainder of the 3-year term ending January 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Beyondich. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Johnson to appoint Patricia Dahl to the Library Commission for the remainder of a 3-year term ending in January 31st, 2024. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve appointing Daryl Napper to the Evelyn, Virginia Airport Authority with the term expiring December 31st, 2021.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Counselor Beyondich and supported by Counselor Johnson to appoint Daryl Napper to the Evelyn, Virginia Airport Authority with the expiration term of December 31st, 2021. He is a Virginia resident and is serving in that capacity as our representative. Further discussion, Counselor Johnson.
Yes, Mayor, I was just going to say that you and I both serve on that board, and this would be the resident component. Evelyn has a matching resident component as well.
Thank you. I'm glad he applied, so we were looking to fill that position. So is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We had discussion regarding the resent a request for proposals we had received for the management or lease of the Wellness Center at the MEC. After discussion, it was moved and supported to accept the proposal from the YMCA for the management of the Wellness Center at the MEC.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Freely. Do I have support? Support by Counselor Johnson. Further discussion, for the clarification, edification of the general public. This went out for bids, or actually for RFPs, for RFPs. And the YMCA, who made a proposal prior to us going out for RFPs, requesting RFPs, they submitted an RFP. They were the only submission. And so after that lengthy discussion and moving through the contract, it was moved to this point. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Beyondich.
Thank you. And this will be continued to be worked on, so we all have a clear understanding of what the duties are.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilor Beyondich. It's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Freely.
Just a quick clarification. There is no need for anybody in the public to have a membership to the Y to be able to utilize the facilities. They will be managing the facilities, but you do not have to have membership with the Y to use those facilities.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We had received a donation agreement from ISD 2909 for a mural that was painted by Wayne Briers entitled Mesabi Iron Range. The school had suggested to the city that they would like to donate the mural to the city for it to be on display of the north wall of the arena. It was moved and supported to approve the donation agreement with ISD 2909 for donation of the Mesabi Iron Range mural to the city of Virginia.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Beyondich. Is there support? A support by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? A really good save on our part, right? It's really quite the mural. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. It won't be in the building when we open in September. It'll be probably sometime next spring that it's going to take a few days. Brian's already working with the professionals to get it taken down safely and installed safely in the new arena. So it won't be there right away, but it will be there, and we'll be able to honor it as it should be honored in its own ceremony and such. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Councilor Johnson, it has been moved and supported to accept this generous donation. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the agreement with Viking Coca-Cola Bottling Company for the exclusive pouring rights for vending at the MEC for 10 years.
Looking for council
I
action?
will move the agreement with Viking Coca-Cola for vending at the new arena.
Okay, Councilor Johnson moves to approve the agreement with Viking Coca-Cola Bottling Company for exclusive rights for the vending at the MEC for 10 years. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
The Committee of the Whole, I had requested permission to close the city buildings on August 4th, 2021 from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for staff development. I did get a phone call today that we need to change the date to August 5th, the same times from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Okay, and August 5th is a
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, thank you.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Freely to approve the city closure for staff development from August 4th to August 5th at 8:30 to 10:30. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Baraboo. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Jody Grabanowski, our library director, presented information to the council requesting the closure of the library on August 20th, 2021 at 1 p.m. for a staff development day. That's the day after their wrap-up of their very large summer reading program.
We'll move the closure at 1 p.m.
Moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Councilor Beyondich for the approve the closure of the library on August 20th, 2021 at 1 p.m., and that'll be for the rest of the day for staff development debrief. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Brian Silver, our Park and Recreation Director, discussed the installation of the boards that were removed from the back rink of the minors to be installed at the Ridgewood Rink, thus making the Ridgewood Rink an official NHL-size outdoor hockey rink. We had requested quotes from multiple contractors and received one quote from Lindsay Enterprises to install footings so that the boards have something to attach to. It was moved and supported after discussion to proceed with a quote from Lindsay Enterprises in the amount of $27,827 for installation of the footings for the NHL hockey-sized rink, provided that there is funding available.
We'll move for discussion.
Moved by Counselor Freely for discussion. Is there support? There's support by Counselor Barnzelli. Further discussion? Counselor Freely.
I think it's a great idea to be able to utilize what we have to be able to improve the outdoor rink. The one concern was that it will impose upon the existing recreational space. And I'm just hoping that there's some way to minimize that in the way that you put that on that site, or at least assure me that there's still going to be recreational ice available.
Yes, we will still be able to have recreational ice available to the east of the hockey arena, whereas right now it is to the south of the hockey arena.
Will that require the removal of any other equipment, or is there space to do that?
There's sufficient space there for us to have a public skating area.
Perfect, thank you.
In addition, when hockey is not being taken place, we can also schedule public time and hockey time in that area to increase the space available for public hockey skating at Ridgewood.
And you'll give us an update as to when funding
Yes.
may become available?
It's all weather dependent.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And Brian, if you just stay up just for one moment, if you would, please, thank you. I just have one discussion item with respect to this. I've received a number of telephone calls about the reason why the rink is going to be east to west instead of north to south, or north to south instead of east to west. And so could you just, for the public's edification, give us a little reasoning for that? I know you had discussion with SH or engineers about that, and it's not going to encroach on the experience for all residents at Ridgewood.
The reason for the rink being oriented north-south is because since there was previously a full-size sheet of ice out there, there have been many changes to that piece of property. The addition of a sand volleyball court and the addition of outdoor sports lighting or outdoor lighting. If we were to orient the rink going east and west like it had previously been, we would not have the outdoor lighting shining on the ice, which would minimize the amount of time that we would be able to utilize it, or we would have to add additional lights to that site. By orienting it north-south, we are able to get it between the existing lights and minimize the cost to the taxpayers.
Thank you, Brian. Any further discussion? It's been moved and supported. Provided there's funding. Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Sherry, we're confident you can find the funding in this regard, so thank you. All right. Next item, please.
The next item was we approved the memorandum of understanding with St. Louis County Health and Human Services Adult Protective Services Unit.
I will move the memorandum of understanding.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the memorandum of understanding with St. Louis County Health and Human Services Adult Protective Services Unit. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve sending a letter of support to the YMCA, for their application to the USDA for financial assistance.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Johnson and supported by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Committee of the whole was recessed at 11:47 a.m. for closed discussion regarding property offers. When we came out of the meeting, it was moved and supported to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Leonard Knickney at 106 8th Street South in the amount of $67,900.
Also move.
Moved by Counselor Bearable. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Beyondich to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Leonard Konecki at 116 8th Street South in the amount of $67,900, and this is related to the property acquisition for the site preparation for the new public safety building. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Freely.
Just a quick comment. Somebody talked to me today about how much houses are going for nowadays, like significantly more than they were in the recent past. And their concern was that have we budgeted accordingly and appropriately, and will we still be within the amount allotted for the acquisition costs that we had anticipated, or is there potential for overrun?
At this moment, we're still confident that we're within the budget.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Freely. Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to authorize the purchase of a parcel of land from Todd Tolman at 116 8th Street South in the amount of $135,000.
This is a quad unit.
The quad
Thank you.
apartment building, which is vacant and shall remain vacant until time of closing.
Thank you. Looking for council action on this parcel.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Is there support?
We have to support this. I mean, that's the project that we're in. I mean, it's like, that's just the reality now. We're into this so that we can't sit here and think we're not going to. So I'll support it, even though it's a tough pill to swallow, given the prices that we're having to pay for these.
Thank you. Moved and supported by Counselor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Bearable.
If these units were occupied and stuff, the amount of dollars to be spent that come through this would be probably double this amount of money. So, because when you relocate people, there are all kinds of, we do eminent domain things that cost you a ton of money with relocation costs. These are empty. So this is a benefit to the city to clear out that area that we want for the public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Bearable. It has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Teresa and Brian Sandness at 101 10th Street South in the amount of $70,500.
Move the resolution.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Oh,
Support by Counselor Bonzelli to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of parcel of land from Teresa and Brian Sandness at 101 10th Street South in the amount of $70,500. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Desiree and Mike Sarkala at 103 8.5 Street South in the amount of $42,900.
Also move that, Mayor.
Support.
Moved by Counselor Bearable, supported by Counselor Johnson to adopt the resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Desiree and Mike Sarkala at 103 8.5 Street South in the amount of $42,900. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution authorizing the purchase of a parcel of land from Gary Jula at 104 8.5 Street South in the amount of $43,500.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Bonzelli to adopt the resolution to authorize the purchase of a parcel of land from Gary Jula at 104 8.5 Street South in the amount of $43,500. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Finally, it was moved and supported to authorize city staff and the city attorney to clarify language in the agreement for naming rights of the MEC and present it to the city council for consideration at today's meeting.
And I'll turn this over to our city attorney, Brian Lindsay. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. I had seen, I reviewed the contract, and I had, along with my partner Colleen, taken a look at that. We had gone back and forth a little bit, and with the final round of discussion that concluded with a final document that was distributed this morning, with just some final tightening of some language. From a legal perspective, I'm satisfied that the document is acceptable and doesn't expose the city to any unreasonable risk.
Okay, thank you. And so we're looking for the motion and to name the naming rights at tonight's meeting. Is that correct?
So moved.
Very good. Moved by Councilor Freely. Is there support? Support by Councilor Barnzelli to approve the naming rights for the MEC to
The Iron Trail Motors Event Center.
Iron Trail Motors Event and Convention Center will be the, no, what's it going to be? Excuse me.
Iron Trail Motors Event Center
Iron Trail Motors Event Center.
with the Iron Trail Toyota Arena and the Iron Trail Chevrolet Arena.
Iron Trail Motors Arena and Iron Trail Chevrolet Arena. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Johnson.
I just want to thank the Iron Trail Motors for their patience, and as we work through this has been a very time-consuming and we've taken this very seriously as a council, and I appreciate the time you've taken. The contract is very well written, I think, and I think it'll allow us as a city to move forward and really show what this new building, the Iron Trail Motors Event Center, can do for our community, both as a city and as a region. It's just amazing what's going to happen. I saw a couple of you folks there earlier today, so I'm glad you were able to get through. So I think this is a great step forward, and thank all the council too for their hard work and the staff and their diligence on making this happen.
And I must say, this has been a long, arduous process moving forward. I think the city has done their due diligence, and with with the generous offers of coming forward, Iron Trail Motors stepping up to the plate, it's going to be an exciting time for us. It's really an appropriate name for this event center. And so I guess I would like to, can we give a specific details of this contract for the general public? Brian, what can we, at this point in time?
Mayor, at this point, technically, the contract is included within the agenda packet, so
We can.
we can.
Okay, so would you be so kind as to articulate to us just a brief synopsis of what it entails?
Mayor, I'm not sure how much detail you want me to go into, but essentially, the overall contract calls for Iron Trail Motors to contribute to the project $1.1 million over the next 20 years.
Very good.
It's broken up into some payments, but it's a very generous overall commitment.
Thank you. I think for the public edification this time, I think that's what they were looking for. So thank you, Brian, for that. So did we vote on that? We're looking for any further discussion. Councilor Freely.
I just want to echo Councilor Johnson's sentiments too. I mean, living in this town for the last 64 years, I mean, it goes all the way back to, if I recall, Skyler Robinson, then George Martin and Martin Chevrolet, and it's evolved into Iron Trail Motors. And I think it's just exceptional that a local, longtime business is partnering with the city right now to sponsor the new building that we have available to the community. So thank you to Iron Trail Motors and their entire outfit.
Would anybody from Iron Trail Motors like to address the council or not? Yes, thank you. We're very excited for the community, very excited for the event center. We're very excited that you've stepped up to the plate and came with what we consider to be, a great partnership. And please, your name for the record. And
Brian
welcome.
Schacht, I'm the general manager and one of the partners at Iron Trail Motors, and we're very excited also to participate with the city in this project. We all think it's going to greatly enrich the lives of the people in this community and the general area, and so as a business that loves to be here, loves our customers, loves the people, we're very happy to be involved in the project. So. Thank you.
We are too, so thank you so much.
Brad Skida.
Old Midway boy. Huh?
What did it?
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Mr. Skydar, growing up together in Midway, we living at 39 Vermillion Drive, and you living up there on the top of the hill.
Yeah, well, anyway,
Yeah.
sorry for my emotions. This is quite a day for our company. I think, obviously I'm from this community. Been away for a long time. Obviously, we were fortunate to buy this store in the mid-2000s. This is, really special. Brian and his crew do just a fantastic job. So I'm really excited that he, is excited for this as well. So just want to thank you for the opportunity. We got 15 stores now in the Midwest. We've come a long way, but this is where it started. This is our largest donation in our history of our company, and really glad it's here. So,
Well, thank you.
we're super proud, and we want to make you proud.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Mr. Skydar, thank you so much. Okay. Been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Beyondich?
Thank you. I didn't know if you could see the green light.
Yes, I have my glasses on.
I would also like to thank you and welcome you, and we will be proud to have that name on the side of the building as well. So thank you.
We have a lot of positives going on in the city. This is just another example of a great leap forward and a great partnership as we move to this great event center. So it's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you.
And if the council could stay after the meeting, we do have a check presentation to give.
Marvelous. We will do so. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
No further
Staff?
items from that meeting.
Is that
No further items from that meeting.
no further items from that meeting? Thank you very much. So we had go to item 9.2 on the agenda, which is the Special Personnel Committee meeting that was held on July 13th, 2021. Item 9.2A, approve the proposed memorandum of understanding to allow the hiring of a dual-role firefighter EMTs. As we all know, we have dual-role firefighter paramedics. We are unable to recruit the paramedics at this time. And so in agreement with the firefighters local, we've come to an agreement that we're going to hire firefighter EMTs with the understanding that within an 18-month period, they'll obtain their paramedic license. So that's the motion to approve the memorandum of understanding to allow this to occur.
So move the memorandum of understanding.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve. Is there support?
I'll support here.
Support by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.2B, adopt the resolution to hire a dual-role firefighter EMT, Connor Grigsby.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Councilor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.2C, adopt the resolution to hire a dual-role firefighter EMT, Chase Evans.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Johnson and supported by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.2D, adopt the resolution to proceed with a conditional offer of employment for the position of Event Program Services Manager to Jeff Mongovin.
I will move.
Moved by Counselor Freelieb and supported by Counselor Baraboo. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.2E, allow staff to post for any position. Was a motion brought forward to give staff the authority to post for any position that becomes vacant as a result of anticipated retirements or other vacancies, to hire in order to allow the employee to start early, to shadow the employee that's going to be retiring, so then once that retirement occurs, that employee can take over without any gap in service or learning curve. So that was a motion that came from Councilor Johnson today. Does that make sense?
And I will so move.
Moved by Councilor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Councilor Freelieb. Further discussion, Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. And this council will still ultimately do the hiring, but this allows staff to speed up that process of posting and making recommendations so that there's not a month gap. So this will really help the city be ready for the attrition and that kind of stuff that's going to be happening.
Okay, yes. So, thank you. It's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That was all that occurred. That was the last item on the Personnel Committee, the Special Personnel Committee that was held this morning at 7:30 a.m. And so we'll move to item number 10 on the agenda, which is Commission Liaison Reports. Does any city councilor have a report they'd like to give this evening? Councilor Baraboo.
Yeah, it's a little bit late this month because the Public Utilities meeting was the 28th of June, and we did not have a council meeting after that meeting for first time in a long time. We just had a committee of the whole meeting. So we had an electrical outage on June 25th that affected Virginia again. This fortunately was not a representative of our utility department. It was on the Minnesota Power side of a substation that lost 2 phases of a 3-phase electrical that came in and caused some problems with some small fires and stuff in our community. So we had fire departments from all over the place. Like we had about 4 fires from this because it went from 3 phases down to 1 and burned out a lot of stuff because it goes from 3 wires to 1 wire. So it causes problems in Virginia. So they're doing an ongoing investigation of that outage. Minnesota Power is. So that was done. They're running the steam is being run on a number 7 coal boiler at 40,000 pounds per hour. The package boiler has been moved out, or the smaller boiler, to satisfy these smaller loads December 2021 due to the parts delay, part of this ongoing stuff nationwide where you can't get deliveries on parts and stuff. So that's going to be a delay. It should be done before winter, so that stuff. The bridge water line has a leak, waiting for a permit on the platform to be used to take care of that leak. This is the one, the water line that goes to Midway. But they got to get a permit first to be able to use this platform on the bridge from the state. So they also have started a gas audit. Was started on 6/28/21 for the gas audit for natural gas, and they accepted their audit will be accepted at their next meeting. So basically, that was a nice short meeting. Other than they didn't have any injury reports at all. Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Baraboo.
It was a short meeting.
Thank you. Just to follow up on Councilor Baraboo, Sherry, our Finance Director, HR Director, Are we going to be scheduling our audit presentation from Walker Jewell here shortly?
Mayor,
Carrie?
Counselor, I've put in a request for next week, Committee of the Whole. I have to hear back from them yet.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Any other commission liaison reports at this time? Before we move on to the next item, I see there's a couple in the audience. Did you want to speak? Did you have anything you'd like to say? Yes. You're with the whole crew? All right, perfect. Thank you. All right. Okay, we'll move to item 11, department head reports. Is there any department head that would like to give a report this evening? I do know that John Sullivan are working very diligently on our city planning, and he's got a lot of irons in the fire moving forward, and he's been a busy person, and so we're looking forward to some news down the pike as to where we're at and what we're going to be doing, and I appreciate, John, I know I've been in your office a couple of times and all the hard work that you're doing there, so we look forward to some exciting news moving forward. And so does any other department head have a report? Brian Silber, our Park and Rec Director. Brian.
You don't think I'm going to pass an opportunity to get up here behind the mic now, do you?
No, well,
So,
always a first time. Welcome again, Brian.
Thank you. Just want to update the council and the public that the Bailey's Lake Trail Improvement Project will be beginning next week. Our contractor will be mobilizing at the beginning of next week and starting with underground electrical and removing of the existing trail. So for the public, please keep in mind that you need to be avoiding the Bailey's Lake Trail starting next week. In addition, as you guys are well aware, the Iron Trail Motors Event Center is going very well. Our design team had a meeting yesterday and asked me to avoid going to the Committee of the Whole and then City Council next week and just jump right in today for purchase of the china for the Iron Trail Motors Event Center. Doesn't that sound good? So today I would like City Council to approve the purchase of the china for the Iron Trail Motors Event Center from Cisco for a total of $31,818.42. You can see an example of the china that is sitting before you on the conference table.
Thank you, Brian. This is your recommendation that comes from
My recommendation and the recommendation of the design
the
team.
design team. Okay, very good. Thank you. Are those plates going to be logoed in any way, shape, or form?
No, they will not be.
All right, thank you. Counselor Baraboo.
Yeah, Mayor, before we do that, we need to waive the written resolution for the purchase of this because that's a proper protocol. So
That is correct.
I'll make that motion.
Counselor Johnson makes Counselor Baraboo makes the motion to waive the written resolution for the purpose of purchasing the china that's before us today from Cisco. It's supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Maybe you want to hear something from the design team. Counselor Beyondich.
Thank you. Yes, it was a very interesting process that we went through. Of course, we all picked out what we liked, and then we turned it over to Alyssa, who actually has to deal with the serving pieces and the dishes. And she came back with recommendations and comments on how we came to arrive at this style and keeping it very clean and classic. So it was a very interesting process to come around to even picking out the dishes. So I really like what has been chosen. Thank you.
Okay, we're looking for a motion.
I made the resolution, waive.
Oh, you waived the resolution, so
And
is
then
there,
we'll do the resolution to purchase.
yeah, so is there any discussion? Any more discussion? Bueller? Anyone? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Brian.
That is all I have this evening.
Now I'll make the motion to purchase the
Very good.
china from whatever vendor they used,
Counselor Baraboo makes a
Cisco
motion.
for whatever, 37,000, whatever the price was.
Okay, Counselor Baraboo makes the motion to purchase the china from Cisco in the amount previously stated by our Park and Rec Director. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councillor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Councillor Johnson.
By doing it this way, we're a little more comfortable with the time frame of the supply chain. So that's why we suggested we bring it here tonight and not wait another 2 or 3 weeks.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. We'll go to item number 12, council reports. I think we all have some things in mind with respect to the council, particularly as it relates to the tragedy of the fire, but I'm going to hold any comments for the rest of the council to weigh in. Any other councilor? Councilor Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. And that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm very proud of our community and our surrounding communities over the last several days on the reach out and the support that has been for the businesses, the community, the residents that lost their homes. This is exactly why I sit in this chair, because the love of this community, as demonstrated in the face of adversity, is amazing. And I'm proud to sit here and I'm proud to be a part of this team, and thank the citizens, the residents, and everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, this has been a real tragedy for the downtown, you know, with the Revive Virginia and the Virginia Foundation and the IRRB and the City of Virginia and all the volunteers who work so hard with the businesses to try to improve the businesses in Virginia, to try to revitalize this community. And this tragedy hits us, and all these businesses are adversely affected. Those business owners who have been here for years have been displaced as a result of this. And there's an ongoing investigation to determine the cause of the fire and whether, you know, what can be done. But regardless, it is a loss, not only a property loss, not only items, but it's a personal loss and an emotional loss for these people. So for all the community's members who have reached out and who are going to continue to reach out to these business owners to help them get through this tragedy, you know, it can only be fully appreciated by communities who come together. And I think Virginia has demonstrated that they are one of those communities. So we're proud to have this community members and all the people who have reached out to these business owners. So it is a tragedy, and we'll continue to try to help them recover from this devastating event. So thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Okay, thank you. If there's no other business to come before the council this evening, we will stand adjourned to our next council meeting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, July 27th, 2020, and 5:30 p.m. in this council chambers. Thank you, everybody, for everybody's hard work. Be safe out there, and just remember, we're going to be gathering with our new partners, Iron Trail Motors, for the Iron Trail Motors Event Center, and we'll have a presentation for the check, which we'll gladly receive from them. So thank you, everybody. We stand adjourned. Have a good night.